Now, the term Big Five portrays the beauty and power of some of Africa's most iconic animals. They are among the most dangerous, yet most popular wild animals to see on safari. They have been feared and admired by people on the continent for many years. Their images could be seen on banknotes, and sports teams are named after them. They are an important part of African culture and history. Our reporters across the continent have more on this.
Have you ever wondered why they are called the Big Five? I mean the elephant, the rhino, the buffalo, the leopard, and the lion? Well, there are two theories to that. Number one is that they are the most unfriendly animals you can find in the wild. Theory number two has everything to do with their expensive body parts. For the elephant, it's about the tusk. For the rhino, it's the horns. For the leopard, it's about the skin. For the buffalo, it's about the meat. And for the lion, it's the teeth and nails. And that's why their images can be found everywhere in Kenya. Money, for example, this 1,000 shilling note has the images of the elephant and the buffalo. Football teams and rugby teams have also been named after the Big Five. That's an indication of how important those five animals are to many Kenyans.
The Big Five represent the symbols of totems and clans of millions of Zimbabweans. As such, they are revered and held in a special place in Zimbabwean tradition. But beyond the cultural significance, they sustain the livelihoods of thousands of sculptors who are engaged in producing artifacts like these across the country. They say the Big Five are the most demanded pieces of artwork by locals and tourists alike.
While South Africans have quite an affinity for the Big Five, it's considered a national treasure. And even some sports teams are named after the animals, like the Lions in South African rugby. Now, the Big Five, of course, refers to Africa's best-known safari animals. Now, South Africa has become a highly sought-after travel destination and relies heavily on wildlife tourism and the much-needed revenue from international visitors. Lions are always a favorite holiday snap from international visitors. Sadly, the rhino suffers a very different fate. Latest figures indicate that 334 rhinos have been killed in this year alone, and that would be alarming authorities. Now, wildlife and the Big Five in particular also has a significance in the lives of all South Africans, because just until recently, every one of the Big Five were emblazoned across South African banknotes. That honor has now been bestowed upon another national hero, Nelson Mandela. From a very early age, all South African school children are taught about the country's wildlife and the significance thereof. But most importantly, that South Africa is Big Five country.
Parts of